ambulance right away. 2-year-old child is unresponsive. Please hurry.
Hello, you guys, and welcome back to my multiple episode series on Jennifer MEDZIE. And in order to fully understand and grasp the complexity of this case, you guys, I'm going to start from the beginning. When this sweet baby girl was failed by many people in her short existence. Sophia Margaret Hoffman was born on September 23rd, 2011. And according to court documents, she spent the first weeks of her life in a hospital detoxing due to her mother admittedly using and abusing Subutex during her pregnancy. And according to Cody Lauder, Sophia's mother is, quote, addicted to everything under the sun. And the CYP contacted him in February 2013 to tell him that he should not let Sophia return to her mother's care due to concerns for her drug use by Sophia's mother and her mother's boyfriend, end quote. It appears that Cody never even had any kind of relationship with his daughter until February of 2013. 15 months after she was born. And even then, it appears his relationship with Sophia was quite spotty. He has zero room to be talking shit about Sophia's mother and her drug use, in my opinion. More on that coming up. Sophia's mother is Kinsey Hangst, and her father is Cody Lauder. If you're wondering why her last name doesn't reflect either of her parents, as I was wondering, this is the explanation that Cody gave while he was testifying in court. He said, quote, me and Sophia's biological mother weren't together at the time. She was in a different relationship. She was convinced that he was going to be the dad, and she gave her his last name, end quote. According to her court docket, Kinsey has a lengthy history of drug possession and usage. And y'all, Cody's isn't much different. In fact, according to his docket, on February 6, 2012, Cody pleaded guilty to manufacture, delivery, or possession with intent to manufacture or deliver, and was sentenced to a minimum of 11 months and 29 days of confinement, as well as a minimum of 24 months probation. So let's recap real quick. Sophia Hoffman was born on September 23, 2011, and spent several weeks in the hospital recovering from neonatal abstinence syndrome. 4.5 months later, her father, Cody Lauder, pleaded guilty to drug charges and was sentenced to 11 months and 29 days of confinement in Elk County. He was released on February 2nd, 2013. So at this point, you guys, at this point of Sophia's 498 days on Earth, her father, Cody Lauder, had fathered her for 0 of those days. And even once he got out of jail, it's laughable if you think Cody was a hero and jumped right into the fatherly shoes. According to testimony, Sophia would spend most of her time with Cody's father and stepmother, Ray the Rip Toad Lauder, and Brandy, aka Diz Lauder. From the time Cody was released from jail on February 2nd until the middle of September, I'm really not sure how much time Cody actually spent with his daughter. But what I do know is that after a thorough search on his Facebook page, he was often asking people if they want to chill or to hit him up to hang out, or telling the world he is, quote, bored and hungry as fuck, end quote. And on April 24, 2013, Cody posted the announcement, quote, "Just want to let everyone that fucked me over and did shit behind my back and lied to me about it when I was locked up, and when I get out, I find out the truth, well, fuck you. Go fuck yourself for all I care," end quote. Classy and very fatherly, Cody. And also, Cody, it's impossible to fuck yourself, so there's that. Cody posted 0 pictures of Sophia until the 29th of April, when he posted 14 pics of her with the Easter Bunny and some of her playing in what looks like a hoarder's home to me. And of course, there are some badass selfies intermixed in that photo lineup as well. Then on May 2nd, 2013, Cody posted 6 more pictures of Sophia swinging on a swing set. Then, May 26th, he posted 7 pictures of Sophia on a horse. And I'm not even convinced, you guys, that Cody was there with her. But he may have been. And then, on June 26th, that same year, 2013, the last time Cody posted a picture of his daughter before she passed away, he posted 3 pictures of the two of them laying on what looks like a couch together. And I tell you all of that because on May 20th, 2013, Cody posted the following message on his public Facebook page. Quote, "I just got granted custody of my baby girl. So for all of you who want to say I'm a piece of shit and a bad father, fuck you. Looks like the court thinks diff, ha, especially when I'm the only parent who showed up for the hearing. With that said, for all of you who want to doubt me and talk shit on me just because of my past, well, here's a big fuck you for ya, and have a nice day," end quote. Yikes. That's how Cody announced one of the biggest honors a parent could have. Your character, Cody, is being shown. Where's the picture of you and your daughter celebrating this achievement? I wonder if you were awarded custody due to the fact that Kinsey was looking at more drug charges and possible jail time. It appears to me that the two of you were tag team parenting. You go to jail and she gets granted custody. Then she goes to jail and you get custody. What a failure for Sophia. She deserved so much better, in my opinion. It appears to me that Sophia had no stability in her short life. That is, until Cody began courting a 17-year-old girl via Facebook. This arrogant, wife-beater wearing jerk, in my opinion, slid into Jennifer MEDZIE's DMs in June of 2013. He kept trying to add me on Facebook, and I kept denying him. And then I just accepted him. We started dating on July 7th, and then I stayed home for my birthday, which is July 8th. And the first time that I met Sophia was July 9th. Jennifer looked past the red flags, and she waited until July 7th, one day prior to her 18th birthday, to go on a date with whom she thought was a handsome older guy. But you guys, this ended up being the biggest mistake of her life. Take a listen to a letter that I recently received from Jennifer MEDZIE as she now sits in prison with a 20 to 40 year sentence at SCI Cambridge. In the beginning, I was still able to go home, but when school started, he came and got me and didn't take me home. I should have known then. I honestly feel so stupid. It was a nightmare living with that psycho. He's really crazy. I realized he basically hated Sophia right away. It was like the second time meeting her, and she pinched herself with those colorful blocks, and she started crying. And he started yelling at her to stop crying. She ran to me, so I picked her up, and he started yelling at me to put her down. She needs to toughen up, he said. She was 1, almost 2. I helped raise my nephew, so I kind of knew what to do, but the longer I stayed, the worse it got. He was into drugs. I don't know what kind, but he would pour sweat. We were at his brother's house, and he did some drugs and kept trying to get me to smoke weed. Finally, his brother stepped in and told him to stop. I never smoked weed or did any drugs. We went back to his house, and he wanted to have sex. I didn't really want to, but we did. But at one point, I kept trying to push him off of me because it hurt. He wouldn't stop, though. I wasn't eating at his house. I ate a pack of Gushers, and I got screamed at. I basically got put in time out in a closet. I weighed 125 pounds when I first went out there, and when I went home, I was 85 to 90 pounds. When he'd get off work, he'd lay down on the couch, and Sophia would be on the rocking chair, and he'd have me suck his dick. I didn't really have a choice. I couldn't say no. He'd put a blanket over me. He worked on the back of a garbage truck and didn't shower when he'd get off work. He wouldn't let me speak to my family. He'd get in my phone. He deleted one of my friends that passed away on Facebook. And then my one friend, Kenny, pocket dialed me. And Cody wanted to fight him. And they fought over a pocket dial. Cody took a knife, and he told Kenny he was going to stab him and hang him up for the bears. If Sophia would cry, he'd put her in her pack and play, in her room, and shut the door. He'd shake her. We got McDonald's one time and took it home, and Sophia was in her high chair, and she was just playing with her food and slowly eating it. Well, Cody didn't like that, so he'd yell, "Eat!" She'd jump and put something in her mouth. Then she'd play with it again, and he got tired of it, so he'd get up, smack her across the temple area, picked her up, and very forcefully yelled at her that she was done, and he threw her in her pack and play. He would hit her head off of the coffee table when he would change her. He would yell at her all the time how much he hates her, and he wishes he could shove her back up her mother. He's very evil. The night we took Sophia to Du Bois Hospital, he did drugs, and on the way back, he kept nodding out. So I pushed on and tapped his arm. He backhanded me so hard. I just wanted him to pull over so I could drive. But he just kept nodding out. He put Sophia in her pack and play, and then before he left for work the next morning, he checks on her, which he never did before. And he shut her door all the way. We usually leave it cracked, so that was very odd. We'd go to his Grams, and that's really the only time I got to eat, and Sophia. He barely bought food for her to eat. So his Gram would order Domino's, and he'd start with me when we'd leave, because she bought pizza for us. He was a living nightmare. Oh, and my dad had a heart attack, and he wouldn't let me go see him at first. But he did eventually and gave me a time to be back, and I had to leave my phone in his truck. This, you guys, is not the only statement I have regarding Cody's character and the way he treated females in his life, including his own daughter, Sophia Hoffman. Here is another letter I received as part of the discovery packet of court documents. This was a letter written to Judge Frederick Ammerman, prior to Jen's sentencing hearing. This letter was written on October 9th, 2017. I'm not exactly sure how to start this letter. I want to make it clear, I have no intention of saying he's guilty, she's guilty. That's not my place. I also do not know Jen MEDZIE or have any reason to have even thought of speaking out. I was asked, and due to the experience I had personally, I agreed to write. Also, this is scary. If the Lauders and friends of Cody knew I was sharing my story with a judge, I don't know what backlash I'd experience, but someone needs to expose the environment that was. I officially started talking to Cody via Facebook. So we went fast. I moved in with my son, who was about 3. We moved in after a month. I know, stupid. I was so incredibly dumb and broken. The first signs of abuse started shortly after. It started with slight isolation from my friends and from my gram, making you feel guilt for wanting to leave and hang out with friends or family. The drug habit he had seemed to get worse. He would spend money on pills every week. When he was on them, he was nice. Off, he was on edge, verbally abusive. He would call names and just make you feel so worthless, as if you needed him. The physical abuse only happened a few times, luckily, because he was incredibly strong. The first time was on a weekend. We were going to bed, and he said something dumb, so I turned my back to him and tried to sleep. He did not like that, so he grabbed my hair and pulled hard, then let go. Me being me, I turned around and I hit him. I felt it was in defense and yelled, "Don't ever hit me, hurt me, or touch me like that. You have no right." He then picked me up and slammed me on the floor, hitting my tailbone and chipping my bottom tooth from my head bouncing and my teeth hitting together. I ran to the bathroom in pain, crying. I was scared. I was never hurt so bad physically. My son was at his dad's, so I walked out of the bathroom and I started getting dressed. He realized what I was doing. I was going to walk home, probably hitchhike once I hit the main road. He said, "No, where are you going? Don't leave, I'm sorry." I yelled, "No, look what you did to me. You hurt me so bad? What the fuck, Cody?" He, I guess, was overwhelmed with my yelling and took me by the throat with 2 hands and slammed my head 3 times extremely hard on his closet door, triggering an instant headache. He then forced me into bed after he was crying and made me cuddle with him. Feelings of violation were worse than being molested as a young girl. I can't explain why. To this day, I suffer from whiplash because of him. And I have x-rays and a doctor to speak on behalf of my injury. I was never in any accident to trigger whiplash, only beat by Cody. My spine and my neck is still straight from that moment. My tailbone hurt for a month after the incident, and yet I stayed. Why? I don't know. He made you feel like you needed him. I never thought I'd be that girl. The physical abuse stopped, but the mental abuse never stopped. He would show up at my work and watch me interact with customers. He would threaten to beat other guys with baseball bats at Woods parties if I even looked their way. One time, I was casually chatting with a male friend at a party, and Cody pulled me aside and poured a can of beer all over me. I've never felt so small, ever. He destroyed whatever self-worth I had inside. He made me feel crazy. My son was scared one night from a thunderstorm. So Cody said, "No, he can't sleep in my bed." So I laid on the couch with him. Cody stormed out yelling at me because I was there soothing my son. In fear of being thrown outside in pouring rain with a toddler, I put my son in the room he was put in, shut the door, and held it shut and cried as I listened to him scream for his mom. He didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. Even now, writing this has me in complete tears. The fear and manipulation made me fail a child, my own son. Not long after that, I went to work one day and I asked Cody to watch my son, so he did. He then shows me a video later on of him and my son outside on a very hot day. He treated my son like a dog, playing fetch. My son wanted to go in. He was so hot, but Cody says, "No, go get it." I don't know how long he forced my son. Thankfully, not enough to hurt him to the point of heat exhaustion. This has broken my heart all over again. I can't believe I was in this position with a child. After that, I never had him watch my son again. I would have a friend watch him or my gram. I couldn't risk my son dealing with poor treatment or neglect. My son did not talk well until 4 or 5, so there's no way he could express to me what went on or how he even felt. I know how I felt over time. Imagine his feelings. Later on, after leaving him, my son would say things like, "Cody red truck. Cody says go to bed. Cody says leave me alone." Things he had never said around me. So I can only assume he would say that to my son while I was working. Months went on with the same verbal and mental abuse, down to forcing me to eat. I'd say, "No, I'm fine," and he'd hound me over and over and over, making your head hurt until you just did what he said. He would brag over throwing exes' phones and making females cry, persuading girls to do things that they weren't exactly comfortable with, but how he was so close to persuading girls to give him plumpking, BJ while crapping. Just odd things. One night, we got into an argument. Something dumb, I'm sure. He came to my work demanding his keys, saying he was going to pack my stuff. I said I'd do it myself. Gave him his keys, and he left. At the end of my shift, it was 11 p.m., and I was closing Minute Mart. I'm alone. I lock up, finish my duties, and walk out back. He was there in his truck waiting. I walk past the truck to go to the front of the store to lock the ice up, and he slams the gas and screeches tires around to the front. Now I'm scared shitless. I wouldn't have doubted I'd get run over. That was my real, at the moment, thought. So I get in and buckle. He starts screaming while driving. He was obviously drunk. Screaming names, saying I don't care, and a bunch of stuff. I kept quiet. The last time I yelled back, I got hurt. We arrived to his home, and I got out of the truck and shut the door. Probably too hard, to be honest. And he starts yelling, "Come on, you're going to your grams now." I said, "Okay, but let me get my things." He says, "No." I say, "If a cop was here, he would allow me to get a few belongings." Well, that cop comment sent him into a fury. He charged at me, yelling how he was going to give me a reason to call the cops. What happened next? I can't even believe now. He knocks my items, phone, drink, and purse, from my hands, throws me on the ground, and starts kicking me while I lay in a fetal position, trying to protect my face, head, and stomach. He kicks and kicks. He punches with his closed fists. I'm screaming over and over, "Stop, stop, Cody, you're going to kill me." Sir, I truly believed I was in severe danger. He stopped after what felt like an hour, but it was probably only 3 minutes. He forces me up, demanding I find the keys he lost while beating me. When I wouldn't say yes, he acted as if he was going to hit me or slap or something. So I hurried and said okay and started looking as I'm crouched in pain, just silently crying. I find them, and he takes all of my things, takes my cell and searches all my texts and calls. Goes through my Facebook, deleting guys I'm guessing now he felt threatened by. Yelling at me how it's my fault I was beat, how I make him go crazy. And I'm on the couch, head down, not even daring to make eye contact. I glance at my throbbing arm, and it looks like I had a tennis ball implanted in the arm. Not the forearm, but the fatty, fleshy part opposite of the flat forearm side. Instantly, black and blue. I touch it and wince in pain. I then look at him. He sees my arm and just chucks my phone. He says, "Let's go to bed now." I don't speak. I just listen. Again? Forced to cuddle the person who I just felt was literally choosing to take my life. Call it an exaggeration, but those feelings are nothing like I've ever felt. I cry myself to sleep. He awakes at 4 a.m.-ish to go to work. I look for my phone, and he must have it. That's when I speak up, saying, "I want the phone I paid for." He didn't answer me, but he left it on the table. I tried calling my gram, the only one I thought to help, but she didn't answer. So I was stuck. That day, I made the decision to slowly, sneakily, take my and my son's stuff back home to my grams. It took 1 more month to leave and never look back. And still, I cried. I felt so sad. Why? I don't know. I don't have pictures of my bruises from that last abuse, but plenty of people saw it. His stepmom asked, "What happened to your arm?" in front of the whole family. So I said, "I hit it at work." After I said that, I thought, why am I lying? But I did. My friends knew. Cassandra Evans knew the abuse. She saw the marks. My gram and others. I can say the mental abuse really screwed with my mental health. I ask that you take his actions into consideration when you judge and sentence Jen. Like I said, I don't know her at all, but I do know Cody, the environment he created, and the craziness he puts females through. I hope that this letter provides some type of meaning. Cody Lauder is an alleged woman-beating nightmare that I believe should be held accountable in some sort of role in his daughter's untimely death. I am not saying that Jennifer MEDZIE is 100% innocent on all of this. What I am saying is that more people, in my opinion, need to be held accountable for this sweet baby girl's death. May 20th, 2013, according to his Facebook post, Cody is granted custody of Sophia. February 2nd to mid-September 2013. Sophia's primary caretakers are her grandparents, Brandy and Raymond Lauder, where it's documented that Sophia would bang her head during tantrums. Mid-September 2013, Cody becomes primary caretaker and moves Sophia and Jen MEDZIE into his trailer. October 8, 2013, according to medical records and court testimony, Sophia was, quote, seen by her pediatrician, Dr. Sherry Sorto-Thompson, at the Clearfield Center for Children's Care. It was reportedly told to the doctor that the patient, Sophia, had developed raccoon eye-type bruising over the previous 4 days with no reported trauma. October 11, 2013, Sophia was seen again and was reported as doing better. October 28, 2013, Sophia was supposed to be seen, but the appointment was canceled. Then November 6, 2013, Sophia was taken to the doctor, and at this visit, it was reported by family that she, quote, was losing her hair, was always hungry, and was developing dark circles under her eyes, end quote. And at that appointment, on November 6th, she was referred to an immunologist. November 14, 2013, Sophia was taken to Du Bois ER. She was, quote, vomiting, had poor PO intake, and was again reported by family as losing hair, end quote. And then, on November 15, 2013, this happened.
River County 911, what's the address?
We need an ambulance right away.
What's the address? Okay.
Could you please hurry? Two-year-old child is unresponsive. Please hurry.
Okay, so you need to answer some questions here for me. We're going to get to there as soon as we can, okay?
Okay.
She's unresponsive?
Yeah, she doesn't answer, and we can't get her weight.
You say it's female?
Is she female? Yeah.
Are you with her now?
Yeah, I'm with her now.
Is she awake?
No, she's not waking up.
Is she breathing?
She's breathing, but she's not waking up.
Is her breathing completely normal?
No, her breathing's shallow.
Okay, I want you to tell me every time she takes a breath, starting right now.
Every time she takes a breath, tell me. I have to tell him, starting right now. She still hasn't took a breath yet. She just did. She just took a breath.
Okay.
And another one. She'll take 3 or 4 and then she'll stop.
Okay, no, that's not what I need you to do. I need you to tell me every time she takes one. I need you to do it in
in exact form?
Right now.
Okay. She stopped again. Okay. Wait until he said to do it in the exact order when she first starts. She just started one more. There went one. And there went one.
Okay.
All
right, stop. We're going to start again here, okay? Every time.
Every time you have to tell me, like every time that she takes a breath, because he wants to know how they're going in order.
Starting right now.
She's taking one right now. There's just a little one.
She hasn't breathed in?
She just took another little one. And she just took another one.
Okay, ma'am,
Yeah.
Is she not taking any breaths, or are you skipping some?
No, like she didn't take a breath there for a minute. Like we told you exactly when she was taking them.
Okay, I need you to start one more time for me, okay? Starting right now. Every time she takes a breath in.
Okay. Every time she takes a break. Every time they said she takes a breath, they need to know. Hold on, just. I am holding her. Okay, here.
Every time she takes a breath, starting right now. This is not very hard. Every time she breathes in, okay? Starting right now.
Now. Now. Now. Now.
Okay.
She's breathing pretty regular now,
but conscious.
Yes. She's been very sick. We had her at the Du Bois Hospital last night. They sent her home saying it was the flu. She's been very sick for the last couple of weeks. We've had her in and out of the hospital. We made arrangements for her to go to Pittsburgh. She's losing all of her hair. Her eyes are black. She's unresponsive. Her body's just limp.
This is what I want you to do, okay? We're going to keep her airway open, okay?
Okay.
You're holding her right now?
I am holding her, yeah.
Okay. Listen carefully. What I want you to do is lay her flat on her back on the floor, the ground, some places that you can lay her flat, okay?
Next time on Can't Stop, Won't Stop Warriors, I'll walk you through the hours leading up to this call and the days following. I have police interviews that will blow your mind. Thank you for your support. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to Can't Stop, Won't Stop Warriors on YouTube. You guys, it's free. And it's an easy way to help get more awareness about the corruption happening throughout this country. I appreciate you.
And